More than half of all transgender teens have attempted suicide. Navigating that transition with family, with friends, and even themselves can be heart-wrenching.
Tonight, Facing Race reporter PJ Rondawa gets an intimate look into one local family's journey to accept their transgender teen and the specialized support they say saved their son's life.
If we're lucky, our earliest moments in this world are documented.
Oh, this is cute too.
Printed on paper.
This was first birthday.
And saved.
They're both wearing Tupperware on their head.
A reminder of just how much things can change.
In my mind, I knew we brought home Ainsley Marie. That's what I knew.
At the age of 14, a change they didn't see coming.
We would get emails from his school to Ollie Hartz. And we were like, well, Ollie, it's like, who's Ollie? It's like, it's Ainsley.
Ainsley Marie. But Ainsley's time was up.
He kind of squatted down in front of us and he just started crying. And Kathy said, are you trying to tell us that you're trans? And he nodded yes. And the first words out of his mouth is like, will you stop loving me?
I was looking up shelters just in case that if they did like kick me out, my dad just said, come here. And I came there and we hugged. And I remember feeling this sense of just warmth. I started sobbing, I'm pretty sure.
Ainsley had chosen a new name, Oleander, or Ollie for short.
How did you let go of Ainsley and accept Ollie?
I would have to say that's taken couple years to do that. I remember, being in the car, he would share that, and in my mind, I kept grieving deeply. I'm losing a daughter, and this is what I knew.
He would say, Ainsley is my dead name. He would say many times, like, Dad, does that bother you? Or Mom, does that bother you? And we're like, a little bit, but it's like we would have to just process it and get through it.
So did this thought ever cross your mind that, Ollie's so young, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We shouldn't listen to him.
Yes, when we know people in our circle of people that we know don't understand it. When my child comes to me and said, this is how I want to be addressed, that is a form of respect.
A lot of people aren't going to understand, but to have some empathy to what that person is going through, you don't know.
Ollie says he knew from an early age he wasn't meant to be in the body he was in.
I felt like that God put me in a girl's body instead of a boy's. And I was really confused for like a big part of my childhood about that. I painted it when I was manic, actually.
Ollie's gender journey has taken him through dark territory.
I've gotten chased by a car full of kids who were screaming slurs at me and saying that I will never be a real man. I was at a place in my life where I didn't have anyone, anything, and it eventually just built up really badly, and that's when I planned this suicide date.
Ollie was experiencing a level of trauma that many in the transgender community face. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence found 82% of transgender people have considered killing themselves, while an alarming 56% of transgender teens have attempted suicide at least once.
Depression is huge. Anxiety is off the charts with those that suffer from gender dysphoria. All comes from just not having a way to express the pain they're in.
Desperate for help, Ollie's parents admitted him to Smoky Point Behavioral Hospital in Marysville, where Director of Family Services David Vandergriff says more than 10% of underage patients identify as transgender or non-binary.
I was able to craft an inpatient curriculum for our transgender and non-conforming teens. I just hope we can get to the kids that their trust has been shattered.
Vandergrift explains the program treats mental health issues first, but also works to foster understanding and support around a child's trans identity with their parents. Yet acceptance isn't as widespread as many hope. According to a 2021 Pew Research Center survey, about 3 in 10 U.S. adults, or 32%, say greater acceptance of transgender people is a bad thing for society.
So I got my records up there, and I've got letters from my friends from the psych ward.
Ollie spent several weeks at Smoky Point, and he and his parents are now part of their outpatient program.
Just to see him be, authentically him has been actually really amazing. We've lost Ainsley, but we've gained Ollie.
Looking back at my younger photos, I really just want to give the younger me a hug and just tell them everything's gonna be all right.